Good morning. It is apparently day, what do you say? 38. The weird things that happen when you take like 11 days off. So, slept decently. A little bit of a later start than expected, kind of. Let's say later than planned. Exactly as expected. So, just getting packed up. Oh, now that the sun's out, it'll get at least contact warm pretty quick, so just working and getting stuff together so we can get moving. Early in the morning is certainly the time you want to do the most miles, just because it really does heat up quick. Somewhere between 10 and 11 it really starts getting warm and the sun just gets so much more intense. And so if there's some time that you don't want to hike, it's generally like 11 to 2, or at least 11 to 1. But it's not hot enough these days to stop us from hiking during the heat of the day, especially with our pace. We just kind of take breaks when we're ready. And so with that, this is our lovely breakfast this morning. I know it looks like weird separated Neapolitan ice cream, but it is not. It's Vega nutritional powder, which has a huge range of natural absorbable nutrients, probiotics, protein, stuff like that. And then we sully it horribly with some Carnation Instant Breakfast and a little bit of creatine on top and mix it up. The Talenti gelato jars make really good cold soak shaker bottle things. And some amount of bars and cheese will make its way. So, slept decently. It really weirdly feels like day 2 again or something like that. Like we barely did any miles, even though the bags are very heavy. Since I've been under eating, so I've packed a ton of food, and I'm just gonna kind of hit it aggressively, which will take weight down, and hopefully the large amount of food will just make me feel better. So, a fair amount of soreness when I first got up, like muscle soreness, but it goes away pretty quick. Just because the body's like, I thought we were done, and it was foolishly wrong. So, we've no real particular goal today for mileage yet. It's really just easing back into this since we've taken so long off that in certain ways we're fresh, in certain ways we're, our bodies are not not used to it. So, I'm not expecting to be horribly slow or anything like that compared to where we were, but it's just the first 2 days I'm expecting to go a little bit more gently, and we'll just see how we feel. So I'll just be looking at basically where the water is and where the good tent sites are, and just making a decision based on that and how we feel. So instead of just kind of droning on longer, it is a beautiful morning and one of the more gorgeous places we've been. So I'm going to get some food in me and keep packing up, and I will see all of you along shortly. Still definitely some cactus and giant desert boulders. This does feel much more like home. And as much as I really am loving the desert, I really can't wait to get back to the old growth titans of the Pacific Northwest. I know it's going to bring moisture, but really looking forward to that. Sun may suck, but it's one hell of a view to be looking at as we walk up. On top of just the gorgeous overall terrain, Starting to come across these really cool boulder caverns. The inner child in me wants to really go in and play. The adult goes, it's not rattlesnakes, it's that you're tired and want to keep moving, and play takes time. Good afternoon, barely. We're just taking a bit of a early snack food, second breakfast brunch break. Came through this beautiful clearing, and it's by far the best shade that we've seen, so we couldn't pass it up, so we just stopped to get some of the water weight and food out of our pack, since we're hitting a water source pretty soon, especially because it's off trail, but all the ones for the next bit of the stretch are going to be off trail anyway. So just taking a break, about to get back to it in a minute. Just been giving some thought to getting back on trail, just that we're having to kind of reassure ourselves a lot, because we're kind of looking at two situations. One where we either have to wait out the Sierra, so we have to take ages, or we're skipping the Sierra, so we lose, we gain the time that we'd have to take in the Sierra, or we're going to flip-flop, but as it is, just getting back on the trail after so long off, we're just kind of feeling it more. Not nearly as much as we did when we started the trail, but still kind of having a similar feel as our bodies are just like, what is this? So we're just kind of feeling the urgency to put on some miles and get to more of a pace than we have been doing, which it's time for anyway. So, as it is, still taking those couple days to see how our bodies are feeling after the break, see how her knee is doing and whatnot. But that's kind of where our headspace is just we know we're doing fine, but just mentally dealing with kind of how long we've been on trail and how far we've gone and whatnot. Even though we started the season early, we're doing fine. It's just kind of a perspective and kind of emotional thing, just being like, okay, time to go faster, but we're doing fine. So, in the effort to that, my main focus is getting better at dialing in how much food I actually need to have with me, as well as water in between water supplies, and making sure we're actually getting up early to get some miles in before the heat hits, because once it does, it's so much harder. Which is why we're taking a couple breaks now between kind of 11 and 1 p.m. slot and not doing much miles then. So as it is, I'm gonna put the pack back on and keep walking. It is a really gorgeous area. I'm loving these little wooded stretches. We're only starting the desert in a fashion, and I'm still just so ready to hit Oregon. But to do that, we're going to keep walking. So, see you soon.
Oh, it is a great day. It is beautiful. I'm going to figure out how far I'm actually going to go today. That is a loaded question. So, yes and no. Before I discovered them,
Well, I have to go a third of a mile off trail for water, but hey, at least it's utterly gorgeous. I try to avoid any off-trail miles for water, but it's just the reality that it doesn't always work that way. So it's either carry a lot more poundage or get a little bit of extra miles. Today it's just a 0.3. It's not always that short. PCT definitely likes to have us come around corners and just go, whoa. Being able to just see down more to the desert floor and whatever town's down there. Just love those surprises. I really don't know what's going to come around any given corner. But, onto camp. So we're constantly passing ant highways, but given the intensity of this one, I thought I'd share. This is a little bit more
weird, super swarmish, but we are crossing dozens or more of these a day. They just lay down pheromone pathways, and so it makes for a ant highway that makes for some really interesting routes sometimes where you go. That's not particularly efficient, but some ant laid a pheromone trail that was like this is the way to wherever, and they just stick to it. Not a new plant, but I haven't seen much of it. It is impressive if it'll focus. It's not focusing. Come on. Come on.
It can zoom in. One.
Oh, that is nice.
It's the first one.
Does that work for you?
Works for me if you think it's okay on slant and stuff.
So, we're not even at 7,000 feet. We're barely in the tree line. And we've hit our first, tree down on the entire trail.
Whatever will we do?
I really don't know. I mean, I could try to go under, but it's all gnarled and sharp and... Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, that worked. That was okay. Okay, good. And she got... Whew. So that was... it was like our first water crossing. It was just stressful. Panicked. But, we're here to challenge ourselves,
We're also from Oregon, so we deal with that a lot.
Oh, yeah, there's that. We have done that before. Never mind. That was fine. But...
No, just saying.
But there is a gorgeous wood here.
Beautiful.
This is an entirely different kind of forest from what we have home, but I'm not homesick at all. You can really kind of plot me anywhere, and I'm pretty comfortable just getting to whatever it is. But this is still making me happy seeing something that's, I don't know, moving more and more closer to our kind of beauty. The tree forested thing, that's just kind of where I'm happiest. Yeah, can't say it's not gorgeous. There have been a lot of fires in the area, which, everywhere on the planet generally has had some fires to help shape it. It's important. It's actually a bad thing that we prevent all fires, because then we get super fires. But it does make for quite the personality. So I just had to cut that video off a bit because I realized we just walked up across someone's tent site and they were awake but in their tent. But just a bit past that, we're coming to this gorgeous place. I'm gonna have a hard time settling down and not just taking pictures. Wife! But we're gonna settle down right here. Ringed with trees, some good flat spots. Doesn't seem to be anyone else here, but with all the trees, it feels almost like home if you just kind of ignore the manzanitas and the murder pine cones. But golden light coming down. Oh, it's still been a little bit of a hard day. A lot easier than yesterday. I felt a lot better, but we still had some really direct sun exposure that we didn't quite... I don't know. We've been off the grid, off grid for a while. And so it just kind of feels like growing pains getting back out here. Way easier than day one on the PCT, but had a lot of similarities to it. So just every day we're doing a bit more until we get back to our full pace. And kind of the overall plan is just to feel that out. Camp at mile 175. Once we get close to Idlewild, so we can do the few miles of snow and the side trail down into town. Take that trail angel up on his offer to chill at his place, I think. take a 0 there. Just get out of town the next day up to the saddle, or as close we can to San Jacinto, and then the next morning summit it. So we're still going to be taking our time, but it's we're getting back into the swing of things. We're really trying to focus on getting up early in the morning, so we're going to dose with all of our sleep stuff and just try to pass out really quick. And if we can, be out of camp by 6 in the morning, which just we're bad at. Like, we'll be awake by 5 or 6. We just take ages. And so each day try to get to where we're getting on trail by 5 or earlier. Because while that isn't a huge deal now, it would still help. And soon it will really matter. So we're just really focusing on, say, those lifestyle points of getting up earlier, more than we are the mileage, because that's going to get us a lot more mileage than just pushing into the night. So getting back to it, early bedtimes. And once we summit San Jacinto, we go downhill 8,000 feet. So we'll pick up some miles then. So I'm probably not going to shoot any more for the evening, as I've been dealing with short days and just kind of taking a lot of breaks because I've just been having to get back into it, among other things. I don't know how much video content I'm going to have, but it's probably about the same per mile though, so I'll see you guys in the morning. I'm going to soak this spot in a bit. Wife!